Hey guys, what's good? Triple J Boxing here, and we got a good one. We got Triple G. I don't know, for some reason when I said we got a good one today, it sounded like I sounded like a Steve Harvey kind of thing, like Family Feud. And boy, oh boy, we got a good one for you today, folks. Returning for the second time with a total of $10,000. It's the John family. And the yeah, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, let's talk about the fight. So, go on, Jibba. Go on. Sorry, my dog's like under my feet there. Okay, so we got a good one today. We got Gennady Triple G Golovkin Gennadyevich versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Jack, what do you want? Hmm? You want up on the bed? There you go. Yeah, he's a bit older, so I don't like him jumping. But yeah, so we got a really good fight. We seen the weigh-in. Both guys look, I would say, pretty good on the weigh-in. You can't really judge that as long as they don't look like terrible. Like if they look like really like obviously fat or out of shape. But yeah, they look good. They look like they're in shape. Golovkin obviously doesn't have to drop 8 pounds of water weight like he's usually doing since it's at 168. And so I don't think the weight will really be an issue for either fighter. If it was going to be an issue, it'd probably be for Canelo, though, because he's been fluctuating from light heavyweight and then back down and then the light heavyweight. So I don't know if that will be. It depends on the person. That could be bad, but I don't know. He was 168 doesn't seem like it would be bad for either fighter. It seems like the perfect kind of right in the middle, and it's for all the belts at 168. So Golovkin can win belts in another weight class, which is I think that's intriguing. Um, yes, so I got Triple G. As long as he's not old tonight, I see him winning the fight like he always did. Won the first fight by domination, but by taking Canelo to school. His first day of school, he took him there. He took him for the whole week to school. And the second fight, Canelo. It was his second year in school. He was in grade two, so he kind of knew, but he still needed help though. So Gennady still took him to school, but Canelo kind of knew his way around the school. But I had Gennady winning that fight as well. But I give Canelo props. He did better than I thought he was going to do in the second fight, but he still didn't win the fight, in my opinion. Um, yeah, like I give Canelo credit because I never thought he would even be able to compete with Canelo or with Triple G at all. Like the first fight kind of proved what I thought would happen. The second fight, Canelo did more than I thought he would do, but he still didn't win though. Um, and then this fight, the only X factor really is will Gennady. Well, not the only one, but the big one on Gennady's side is 40 years old too old for Triple G? Like, is he gonna not be himself? Which is a possibility because he's faced decent level guys lately, but I would say Canelo's faced the better competition. But even then, it's kind of there's an asterisk there because I know Bivol is way better than anyone Gennady's ever faced, but he got dominated by Bivol, right? And then Caleb Plant, I really feel like Gennady would knock him out. Who did Caleb Plant beat? No one really. Like, tell me who Caleb Plant beat. He didn't beat anyone. So that's not really that good of an opponent. Billy Joe, I give respect there. He stopped Billy Joe. Billy Joe had some good names on his record. Um, but I think Gennady would probably stop him as well. But I give that respect. I think Billy Joe was a better opponent than a lot of, like, say, like Caleb Plant, right? I feel like they hyped up Caleb Plant. And I'm not a Caleb Plant hater or anything. I just think he didn't have enough experience under his belt to deal with the Canelo. and it showed. He was doing good, but then he couldn't. I feel like maybe the pressure got to him. I feel like a couple more fights, he would have maybe won the fight with Canelo, but he didn't have that experience, and Canelo got him when he was still kind of green, in my opinion. But yeah, so it's just the X factors are the age of Gennady Golovkin. Canelo he seems very mad and agitated. Will he fight emotionally and try to go for the knockout from round one, which could be detrimental if he tries to do what he did with Bivol and just try to land a knockout punch? We've seen what happened with Bivol. It didn't work out. He wasn't winning rounds that way. You can't throw every shot with all your power if you're not quicker than the other guy. And that was the case. Bivol was quicker than him. He had better legs than Canelo. And Canelo was just loading up. And you can't hit a guy when you're loading up, especially against a guy who's faster than you. With Golovkin's more stationary than Bivol, so I really think he could land more. But he can't have that strategy of just trying to knock a guy out. You got to win rounds. But then again, the judges are there, so maybe he knows he doesn't have to. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Because like we seen with Bivol, he almost won that fight still. So it's all fucked up, man. It's all fucked up. And I just think if you're a boxing fan, you like Canelo, you understand what's going on. If you're truly unbiased, you know he lost the first fight. Second fight was close. Make of it what you will. If you had Canelo by a point, I didn't. I had Golovkin still winning the fight. But if you think the first fight was a legit win for Canelo or it was a legit draw, then you're obviously not in the right mindset. And any opinions you have are like kind of, they don't matter after if you have that opinion on that. You know what I mean? Like your opinions don't matter if you thought Canelo did win that first fight or had a draw. And for those of you who say, oh, Bivol was easy work for Canelo, we've seen what happened there. That just shows you people don't really know boxing that much. They just want their fighter to win. They'll say, oh, easy work, like before the fight happens. And then after it happens, they disappear or they'll make up some excuse. And I just I don't get it. Like, because if you really study boxing, you know Bivol was the toughest fight in his career since Golovkin, if not tougher than Golovkin. Since he's a light heavyweight, and people were saying it was going to be easy and he was going to knock him out. I was just very confused by that. But like I said, maybe I shouldn't be confused though, because it's just biasness towards the fighter they want to win. They don't have any logic behind the decision. They just want them to win. Just like this fight, they say Canelo by destruction, and they just really hope that that's the case if Gennady's old, and they're just going to go with that narrative. But if that doesn't happen and there is no destruction, they have the judges to back them up. So either way, they think they're safe with their opinion, right? No matter what. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, as long as Golovkin's not old, we have a fight, and he'll probably outbox Canelo again. It'll be similar to the first and second fights. But if Golovkin is old, yeah, we might get a, I would say still a close fight, but it will be more favoring Canelo even more so than the second fight, but still close, you know what I'm saying? I just don't see a knockout, to be honest. Both guys have knockout power, so anything can happen in boxing, right? Knockout can happen for either side. But it's hard to see that when you've seen these guys fight 24 rounds and none of them were really hurt that much. And Gennady would have to really fall off for that to happen, or Canelo would really have to make a huge mistake for that to happen on his part as well, for him to get knocked out. So, yeah, I just think if Gennady gets up for this fight, it's going to be similar to the first and second fights. He's going to win in my eyes, but he has the judges to contend with, so everything's stacked against him pretty much. He's fighting against four men tonight. And I feel like Canelo gets a lot of hate because of that. And understandably, though, the judges are always on his side. And then the PEDs, he happened to test for PEDs and legit he got suspended for it. So it was not an allegation. It was a fact. And it happened when he was supposed to fight Triple G the second time, right? Around the Triple G camp. So, that's kind of suspicious. It's kind of coincidence that he would get caught for a PD in his toughest fight ever in his career. Like, he needed the boost for that. So it's just kind of concerning there. But like I said, it happened. There is no, it's just a fact, right? And we'll find out later if he gets tested for this. If either fighter tests positive for this fight, we'll find out, I guess, later if it doesn't get swept under the rug. But you can't ignore the fact that the judges are always on Canelo's side, no matter what. We've seen the Bivol fight, almost had that a draw, the judges. If Canelo won that last round, it would have been a draw, or he would have won, something like that. And I really think, like, it's not really Canelo's fault, maybe, per se, that happens. Like, the judges, and he just brings in the money, right, to Vegas. So they favor him, the judges. And it's kind of sad boxing's like that. It's kind of like that. It's kind of sad that boxing's like that, but that's just what it is. And, yeah, like, people hate on Canelo for obviously the steroid allegations, the PEDs, the clenbuterol, but they also hate on Canelo because the judges, the other fighters don't get a fair shake against him. And like I said, it's understandable that people would feel that way, feel angry. It's like a parent who's favoring their one kid, who's favoring your brother over you. Like, why is he getting all this and I'm not? You kind of start despising the brother in a sense, even though it's not even the brother's fault. It's just they're giving him that, right? So it's not like Canelo's paying off the judges. Maybe he is, I don't know, but I don't think he is. It's just he brings in the money, and that's just how the way boxing works. And so technically it's not even Canelo's fault, but naturally people are going to, resent him that the judges are always on his side. So definitely Triple G is the people's champ. People thought he won both fights. A lot of people. But yeah, like, the only thing you can knock on Canelo is really, okay, the judges, like I said, is not technically his fault, but the steroid allegations, that's in the past, I guess. But that was concerning. So I feel like this fight will never really solidify Canelo being better than Triple G, since Triple G is 40 and all those things I just mentioned with the judges and the steroids. But like I said, this fight is just good fight to general. The styles mix good for boxing. Take away all the drama, the politics, whatever, the drug testing. You just want to see a primitive, good fight, and this is what you're going to get. And you got to respect both guys, you know what I mean? In that sense, anyway. They're both stepping up and fighting each other, so. I got Golovkin by decision. I got him using the jab, outboxing Canelo. But, like I said, anything could happen. Canelo could win. Triple G could win. I'm going with my guy. Like I said, I'm being biased because I want him to win, and that's why I'm picking him. And I know he has the skills to win, but I know deep down if he is old and he shows up slow and old, Canelo will win legitimately. Like, I know that. I know boxing. I know that, like, he doesn't move he doesn't have that same footwork Bivol did, so Canelo will catch him more. But also know that Triple G sits down more on his shots and could hurt Canelo more than Bivol could. So, yeah, I'm riding with Triple G if he's not old, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I know he has the boxing skills, and I want him to win. But I know Canelo could win this fight if Golovkin is old and the judges. Anyway, guys, that's my video. Enjoy the fight. I'll see you after the fight. I'm definitely buying the pay-per-view for sure. I usually stream the fights for free, but for Manny Pacquiao fights, for Tyson Fury versus Wilder, for Golovkin versus Canelo, you got to buy these fights because they're just good fights. But yeah, probably Crawford Spence is another one that would be a must-buy as well, because I'm tired of streams and their shitty reception. You got to click all the ads, and then they open all these ads. Like, fuck, I just want to watch the shit, man. It's like they do that on purpose so you buy, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, buy it on DAZN, guys. It's going to be a good fight. Stream it if you're broke, because you don't want to miss it. And, yeah, I'll Both guys look very good in the weigh-in. And, yeah, we're going to get a good fight. So, this is Triple J Boxing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Hopefully we get a good fight and both fighters come out safely.